Hello guys, this video is going to be dedicated to one very important topic for me. I think that Game of Thrones is a show which shows, no pun intended, the two sides of the human nature. We see uh, every, each and every one of the characters being displayed as both good person and a bad person at different times. There ain't no one, and I mean no one, in the books or in the show who can be described as purely good or absolutely evil. That's not the case. If you're searching for a TV series, for a epic fantasy saga, which provides black and white characters. That's not the case with Game of Thrones, certainly. Talking about the villains of Game of Thrones, there have been many, starting from Joffrey, the infamous bastard king, the son of Cersei and Jaime Lannister. We continue our favorite villain list with Peter Baelish, with other characters famous too, such as Ramsay Bolton and Roose Bolton. Roose Bolton, the father of Ramsay. Roose Bolton killed Obstack, one of the favorite characters of many fans. Who can forget Obstack? Maybe, I don't know. I forgot him. Why? Because he got fucking killed. Why he got killed? Because he was very stupid. Because he didn't marry the girl which his mother made him marry, because she signed a contract with Walder Frey. And this is amusing. This is awesome. Back in the day, in these medieval times, in the world of Westeros, in the world of the Seven Kingdoms, you don't marry the one you love, you marry the one which has the power and which has the money, and this is not right, this is not good, but this is how it was in the past. Marriages by account, marriages for money, have been a common case scenario. We have to take into account the fact that Obstack did make a big mistake. He committed an error which he wasn't permitted to do, because that costed not only his life but the life of his mother and all the people which he cherished, which he loved. And yeah, Obstack was a fan favorite, but in this video I'm not talking about fan favorites. I'm talking about the one who killed them, the one who destroyed them, the one who put them out of their misery. And even though there have been quite the number of villains in Game of Thrones, the burning question now is, who is the villain now? Who is the villain nowadays? Since one of the baddest, one of the worst person in the Game of Thrones series has been murdered in the face of Ramsay Bolton, Ramsay Snow, the bastard of Dreadfort, killed by another bastard, Jon Snow, or Jon Targaryen. I don't know. So who is villain number one? There are certain candidates for that title. One of them is Euron Greyjoy. So if you're wondering, in case you're living in a cave and you don't know who the fuck Euron Greyjoy is, Euron Greyjoy is the uncle of Theon and Yara Greyjoy, the two only remaining living children of the late king, who passed out being killed by his brother Euron, Baywon Greyjoy. So the two children of Baywon wanted to to rule the Iron Islands, wanted to rule the Iron Islands, but they were tricked out of their claim. They didn't manage to get the support from the common people and the support that the King's Council they needed. So they failed, and they had to flee because if they didn't run, they would have been murdered by the guy who killed their father. And their father was a villain too. Balon Greyjoy, the king of the Iron Islands, was one of the most terrible person in the Westeros world I have ever seen. He was so damn disturbing. He was creepy as fuck. He was very, all the time he was very boring, and he was sitting in all of his scenes in the TV series, in each and every series, in each and every episode, we see the damn guy is sitting in front of a fire. He's always cold. Winter is coming, and it's always winter for Balon Greyjoy. Now he's not cold, maybe in hell, because he was a bad person. But now he's been killed off by Euron Greyjoy, who is not better than him, without any doubt. Euron, as described in the books, is a villain, 100%, without any doubt. Whose aim, whose goal, ultimate goal, is to be a god. Euron in the books, and we have heard his claim just before he murdered on the bridge. Just before he threw out of the bridge his brother Balon. So Euron said that he's a god, that he's the drowned god. So he's some divine figure. He won't be content. He won't be happy only with the fact him being the ruler, the warden of the Iron Islands. He wants power. He wants the one thing that the Lord of Iron Islands in the history of the Iron Islands has never achieved, and this is the Iron Throne, the ultimate power prize in the Westeros. So Euron Greyjoy is very bad. He's not only capable of killing his own brother, he wanted to kill the children of his father, and this is way I don't know. This is sick, and he's one of the candidates for villain number one in the Game of Thrones world. But how about the High Sparrow? What do you think about the High Sparrow? Please post in the section below. I want to hear your opinion, because I personally think that the High Sparrow is one of the most complex characters in the Game of Thrones saga. He is not evil, he's not good, but he has some backup story. He has some story which he revealed to Margaery in one of his conversations with her. The High Sparrow, who many suggest him being Howland Reed, the best friend of Eddard Stark. So the High Sparrow said that he was a wealthy, rich lord with money, with women, with every single pleasure in life which he wanted to have, and he had. But one day he said, "No more. It's time for being religious on." Get the fuck out of here. This guy is not religious. This guy is not a servant of the faith. He's not the servant of the faith. He's not faithful. He worships no god but himself. He's the only god he knows. And he serves his intentions, his plan. And I think his plan is to murder, I don't mean kill by himself, but to get rid out to get rid of Cersei Lannister, to get rid of the king. Now, Tommen is his friend and he's only his puppet. Once he achieves the ultimate control over the Iron Throne, he wants to probably put himself in the Iron Throne. Nobody wants to see the High Sparrow, that old grandpa who never washes, who never never goes to the bathroom. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him sitting in the Iron Throne. Definitely. The next candidate for villain number 1 is Cersei Lannister. Cersei has done many bad things in her life. One of which banging her own brother. This is not good. This is not what brothers and sisters do. They play some other games. They don't put things inside each other. So this is a sin, which she has to be punished for. And Jaime Lannister has punished her many times, but I think that something else. She will be most probably killed, because not only good guys die in Game of Thrones, some bad guys die too. I think Cersei is going to reach her peak of badness, of villainous, in the season final of season 6, when she's going to try to burn King's Landing to the ground. I think there ain't no coming back from this. She has lost 2 childs, 2 of her children, and now I suspect that there is a huge chance that we'll see Cersei being responsible for the murder, for the death of her last son, in the face of Tommen Lannister. So I think she's very bad too. And one of the other villains, who is very fresh, who is ice cold, is the Night's King. Oh, the Night's King is very bad, but he's not bad, human bad. He's he's cold bad. He's maybe it's more specifically correct. It's more correct to say that he's not a very warm person. He wants to make people feel cold. So he basically what the Night King does is transform babies into monsters, transform babies into undead White Walkers. This is very bad. And now, while discussing the villains of Game of Thrones, we have to say that I have to say that Daenerys Targaryen is one of the candidates. I think, it sounds amusing, it sounds unbelievable, but it can happen. It's very possible. There are many examples in history where a good person, or a person who seems good, starts doing some pretty damn bad things, and that's Daenerys gonna do when he says, burn them all. And that's exactly what Tyrion Lannister alerted her. He said to her, you're starting to sound like your own creepy, sick and twisted and demented and crazy or insane father, Aerys II Targaryen. So that's why Tyrion suggested her not killing the slave masters, but she killed them all. She burned them all with the dragons. And that's a bad thing, killing innocent people, not only the masters of the slaves, not only the ones who owned the slaves, who tortured the slaves, and that disobeyed her orders to abandon the slavery, but she killed innocent people, because that's what Dragonfire does. Dragonfire destroys everything. It destroys every piece of human flesh which is on its way. So Daenerys can be very evil. I think that she can do some pretty harmful things to the Seven Kingdoms, and she's one of the candidates. After discussing some of the candidates, I think that we have to mention only only one more, and this is my favorite villain number one, Peter Baelish, the Littlefinger, the most cunning, the most sick dude in all the world of Game of Thrones by now. And the one thing we all know who Peter Baelish is, and we all know that he's a bad guy. He's the one behind the plot to overthrow, to kill the king, the bastard king, Joffrey Baratheon, who is Joffrey Lannister. He's the one who pushed Lysa Arryn, who murdered her in order to achieve his goal and to have Sansa by his side. He wanted Sansa. He wanted to do bad things to her. Yeah. Ramsay wanted to do bad things to Sansa, and Ramsay did some bad things to Sansa. He raped her like a horse, which I hope is something that Peter Baelish is not going to do. It will be fugly. It will be very ugly. It will be disturbing. I won't watch it. It will be awful. Please, Littlefinger, don't put your little finger into Sansa's. Yeah, you know what. So don't do it. Yeah, I think Littlefinger is the best of them all. He's the worst of them all. Baddest is completely wrong. I'm sorry for my English is awful. Pero el español está perfecto, chicos. Mi español está perfecto. No como el inglés. El inglés está... no está perfecto. Pero el español, cuando yo empiezo a hablar en español, todo está perfecto. Todos están escuchando porque mi voz es la voz del Dios, chicos. Yeah. So, this was my video. Yeah, like it or don't. Bye bye.